Hello, and welcome to the Table and Well podcast. I'm Tennison.
And I'm Ginelle. Thank you for joining us as we discuss topics and give practical tools that help you live, grow, and be in healthy, joy-filled relationship with God, yourself, and others.
For more information and resources, or if you're looking for coaching, connection, and community, visit tableandwell.org. We hope you enjoy this podcast. You are listening to Fingerprints, how God is transforming the relational health of his family. All throughout this series, you will hear transformational stories from everyday people just like you. But what if this transformation isn't just for them? What if it's for you too? I want to let you know that it is for you as well. And that's why we've created Relational Collabs, intentional spaces where this type of transformation becomes real. These are small, safe communities where you will practice the skills that will help you grow and build joy, rebuild your trust, enable you to stay present in the middle of hard moments, help you deeply connect to God, yourself, and others, and experience the authentic connection that your heart was designed for. See, this is more than just another class or a book study or even a Bible study. This is real life. This is hands-on. This is heart-connected, and it's changing lives. If you're tired of disconnection, and if you're longing for something more, don't just listen to these stories, become one. For more information, or to join our fall collabs starting in September, go to tableandwell.org/collabs. You were never meant to walk this journey alone. And your healing is part of how God's leaving his fingerprints in the transformation of the relational health of his family. Hello, and thank you for joining us on the Table and Well podcast. This is season 3, and we are in our series Fingerprints, how God is transforming the relational health of his family. And this series so far has been fantastic. We've had the opportunity to talk to some really just fun people, great people that we've got to know over the years from different parts of our life, and really seeing how God is transforming the health of their family, and then how that is transcending into the family at large, the family of God at large.
Yeah.
And, we've talked to leaders, we've talked to pastors, we've talked to everyday people that have been navigating through our collabs, and people that have nothing to do with Table and Well, which has also been really exciting to hear how God is transforming relational health in their spaces as well. And today is very much similar to that. We've got some friends that we had the opportunity to meet. Technically we met Britton. We didn't get to meet his wife, Michelle, in person when we met them the first time, but I got to meet her a couple weeks ago, which was great. Ginelle, you have not yet, so I'm sorry about that. You're missing out.
I am. That just means you guys have to come to Greenville.
Yes. So so our friends Britton and Michelle Smith are here with us, and I did not actually get a bio for you guys, so I would love for you just introduce yourself to our listeners and let them know a little bit about who you guys are.
Well, first, thanks for having us on the podcast. It's great to be with you. And Tennison, was great to hang with you a little bit in person when you were bopping your way through Michigan a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Ginelle, we did miss you, though. It wasn't the same without you, but we did enjoy spending a little time with Tennison. For us, Michelle and I, we're coming up on 19 years of marriage very soon here this month. And we have 3 boys. And so they are 15, 13, and 10. Just like such fun ages. It's just incredible. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
So much action, so much wrestling. It's incredible. It's a ton of fun right now.
Shoot video a day, just like a day in the life.
Oh, it would be good. It's insane, especially around bedtime. I don't know what it is about bedtime. Like in my mind, bedtime means you start winding down. You start like getting ready for bed. When we say, "Hey guys, it's time for bed," that's like key word for all right. Let's time to ramp it up. Any energy that remains, we got to find a way to get it out. We're gonna wrestle. We're gonna be squirrely. That's just like that last hour of the night would be enough to overwhelm people. But we love it. I think I speak for us. I love it. I think it's incredible. It's
That's awesome. Yeah.
Michelle, would you say the same?
Yeah. And it's funny because it hasn't always been that way. It's feels like it's just been the last year or two. So I don't know what that's about, but yeah, they're great kids. We enjoy them.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
I was a pastor for about 15 years, so that'll come into our story, I'm sure, today. We stepped away from that back in 2021 to pursue really what does ministry look like outside of the institution. And so that's what we get the privilege of doing now with pastors and pastors' families. With the ministry that we work with called Pastor to Pioneer, where we help pastors explore pioneering being the church from their home in really simple ways, and what ministry looks like outside the institution in very relational, simple ways. Yeah. And so we've been doing that now for 3.5 years, and it's been a ton of fun. And I'm sure we'll get into that more today. Yeah. Anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, just another piece of our story, and I think where a lot of our relational skills that we'll talk about today were maybe solidified was in 2022, we sold our house and bought a truck and fifth wheel and traveled the country. And that's when Britton got to meet you guys in your hometown. But that was just a really pivotal experience for our family and a really important time in learning and developing some of the things that I'm sure we'll talk about today.
Yeah. Yeah. In a fifth wheel, you can't really get away.
No, you cannot.
No, when 5 of you were, it was a big fifth wheel. Don't get me wrong, it was like 42 feet, but even still, it's small, and you'll realize your relational gaps quickly, and your opportunities to grow relationally very fast.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I can only imagine. We've talked about living in like a tiny house or something of that nature, and I'm like, I just need a door I can close and a room to be inside of on occasion. Like that's a qualifier for me.
Yeah, it's been Ginelle's talked about when we get older to like have separate rooms, because she's like, I just need my own space sometimes. Like you go to your room, you go to my room, I go to my room, you go to your room, just like back in, like in the 60s,
the 50s.
Yeah. Or in the European or in the English, royalty, they all had
in our castle.
In their castle. She had her chambers and he had his chambers, and he had to ask can I come with you tonight? And she says no. And then they close the door and he's got to go to his own stinking room. Whatever.
Hey, bring it back. There's plenty of space and time to be relational, outside of that.
Right.
That's right.
Like we teach you don't have to be on all the time.
Right.
You also need to rest.
You need to rest. And sometimes that means without the other person. There's nothing wrong with that.
Anyway.
We digress.
So tell us a little bit about what started you guys on your journey to relational health.
Well, I was a pastor, like I said, for a lot of years. And I think if you would have asked me then if you were relational or if I thought I had any gaps in relational skills, I would have said, well, no, I love hanging out with people. I can talk to anyone. I get along with anyone. And no, not at all. But I didn't understand the idea of relational being not just an ability to talk with someone, have a conversation, but the ability to connect, and especially the ability to connect on a heart-to-heart, deeper emotional level. That was really honestly pretty foreign to me. And so, we get into 2020, and it was not good for any of us that were pastors, honestly. It was like it was a debacle for a lot of reasons. And I think I was just going through so much inner turmoil and stress, and I didn't know how to connect with my wife during that time. I wouldn't have told you that.
Yeah.
But I didn't know how. And she would say things like, I feel like I don't feel connected to you. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, we're hanging out, or what are you talking about? We're like spending time together. And I didn't realize that she was talking about this heart-to-heart connection, and I was operating more on a logical, mind-to-mind, intellect-to-intellect conversation. So I honestly didn't even realize there was a problem until our lives were a total dumpster fire at the end of 2020 into 2021. I mean, it was like every area of our life was pretty much a hot mess. Our marriage was a hot mess. Ministry was a hot mess. Just like literally everything was terrible. And we went to this ministry in Kalamazoo, Michigan. Someone sent us to, called Alongside, during a little time away in the summer of 2021 to catch our breath. And they began talking about emotions and naming your emotions and expressing your emotions. And I'll never forget. We were in a counselor. You're like in a counselor with a therapist every day for 3 months.
Yep.
All right.
Wow.
And so it was like the very first time I'm in there, and he's like, "All right, I want you to share with Michelle like what you're feeling." And I was like, poof, And he goes, "Okay, here's a feelings wheel. Just pick one from here." And I was like, okay. And I picked one. I don't remember what it was. Probably like, I feel sad. He goes, "Oh, okay, good job, Britton. Good job." Now, why don't you tell her why you're feeling sad? I was like, "Oh my gosh." And I'm not exaggerating. Michelle will testify to this. I'm like sweating profusely in this. And it sounds silly. It feels like a simple exercise, but I'm like,
really uncomfortable.
Why am I so uncomfortable with this? Why am I so foreign to this idea that I can't even recognize or name my emotions or slow down long enough to recognize what I feel, because I ain't got no time for emotions. I got stuff to get done.
Right.
So now everything else is put aside. I'm here just to acknowledge my emotions, share them with Michelle, and then have to sit in her emotions. It was brutal for me. It was not brutal for Michelle, but
Amen, brother.
That's really where it started. My eyes were open to this. What about for you?
Yeah. How about you, Michelle?
Yeah. I mean, I think I would say that I'm someone who's always been fairly aware of how I'm feeling. But I think where I've had to grow is in learning how to express them in a way that the other person can receive. And good. So I think that's been the growth for me is, I think I had this idea in marriage that Britton should just be able to take whatever I throw at him. And just learning that that's not really an accurate perception. That's not really an accurate understanding or expectation to have of him.
Right.
So while naming my emotions didn't feel foreign, I had to learn a better way of expressing them so that he could receive it and actually do something that felt helpful to me in the midst of expressing that.
Yeah.
So we left alongside knowing that we had a big problem and that we were really disconnected, and had basic tools to begin to take steps forward. But one of the big things coming out of that time is, Michelle had said to me in one of our counseling sessions there, she's like, "Yeah, you know what? Ministry's always been a part of our marriage. And in fact, it's like a sister wife, just kind of always been there. And honestly, it usually gets the top priority and top spot. And I get the leftovers." And when she said it, it just cut to my heart. And I was like, "Oh, well, she's not wrong. She's not wrong."
Yeah.
So we then talked about the process of divorcing the sister wife, and our world shrinks now after that. And instead of having all this influence of all these people, now it's just my family. And that's where our attention needed to be. And it was during that time, we had just some basic tools to start with after leaving alongside, but we started getting, just through like conversations, honestly, people are bringing up Chris Corsi's name and Thrive Today and Jim Wilder and the other half of church and books like that. And I'm like so desperate for some practical skills and to understand, because it's like such a new realm for me. I felt like a toddler, like trying to walk and so awkwardly walking and falling over and like hitting my head and be like, "It's just terrible." But I knew it was right. And so it gave language for Michelle and I, tools for Michelle and I to begin exploring. So that really is what sent us down that trajectory of understanding there's a whole realm of people that have devoted their lives to this connection, these relational skills that just been such a gift for us.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I'm curious for you, Michelle, like in that process, leaving, was it alongside and kind of walking in this, again, you're hearing all these different things, you're reading these books and you try and navigate this. What was that like for you? Like, Britton kind of explained what it felt like for him, but what was that like for you during that time?
Yeah, it was very painful for me as well, because I think I had this long-standing feeling of there has to be more. than this. There has to be more, but
Like in our marriage, you mean? Like
in our marriage, in our family, I think the roles that we both held, how those function, I mean, so many things. But it felt like, I think I can see the vision of what's maybe possible. I don't know if that's possible for us where we sit today,
Right.
but I'm not content to just stay where we're at and say, well, we're good. That's fine. And so it was this painful, messy middle of, all right, some things have been uncovered. That feels really great. It's hard, but it feels really great to have those kind of a little bit more in the light.
Yeah.
But how we get from where we are now to where what I think the Lord has for us in relationship and connection with each other, I'm not sure how we're going to get there. That feels pretty far off.
What if your relationships could change? Most of us were never taught how to do relationships well. See, when you were younger, you were told to be kind, to be nice, to play with others, to share. And then as you got older, you were told you need to listen better, you need to communicate more, and you need to share your emotions and your feelings with other people around you. But the thing is, you were never taught how to do any of those. And because you were never taught, you're all grown up, and you feel disconnected, you feel lost, and you feel alone. So here at Table and Well, we have developed Relational Collabs. Our signature training is a 24-week guided experience that will teach you practical, simple, and powerful tools and skills that are proven to bring joy, healing, and connection to your most treasured relationships. And the beauty of these labs is that you don't have to do this alone. You will gather online weekly with a community of people that are walking through and are on the same journey that you are. This is a safe place for you to learn, for you to grow, for you to share, and for you to practice these skills that you're going to be learning. See, in community is where true transformation and true growth actually happens. So whether you're married, whether you're parenting, or whether you're finding your way through this world solo, knowing how to do relationships is everything. You can grow, you can change, and you can relate differently to those around you. If this is your moment to change everything, we would love to walk this journey with you. We have 2 opportunities for transformation this fall. Mondays at 8 p.m. or Wednesdays at 11 a.m. Relational Collabs begin the week of September 15th. You can go to tableandwell.org/collabs to register today. At Table and Well, we are bringing relationships back to life.
Yeah, so what did it look like? So your world shrunk, you ended up selling your house, packing up in the RV with your 3 boys. So you couldn't even fight in private. Probably.
Yeah.
So all this is practiced, like while being witnessed by your most precious people. What was that like? And how did you guys work your way through?
That's a good question.
I think Michelle thankfully gave me a lot of grace because she was way further along in the starting point.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had to go way, way, way back and learn some really basic practical skills. So I'll just give you an example of, like, when she would share an emotion with me, I was like a great husband and just was like, well, if you would just like fix that, then you wouldn't feel this problem anymore, and your problem will go away and your emotions will be fixed. It's like, honestly, not that hard, Michelle. I don't really understand why you're lingering on this. And so out of a good desire to try to help her.
Right. It's like, Britton, why didn't I think of that?
Yeah, it's weird. I never got that response and I didn't really understand why for a while. But I was just learning to, like, okay, no, listen for the emotion. Don't listen to the words. Don't take what she's saying, even literally, like, what's going on underneath it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's listen for emotion and learn to validate that emotion.
Mm.
Well, before I was so slow at this, before I could even validate, I had to, like, awkwardly tell myself, don't speak, don't just listen. What emotion is she feeling? Just listen. No, just listen. Stop. And Michelle would look at me. She's like, I know you are thinking about all kinds of things. You're trying so hard not to talk right now, aren't you? And I was like, yes, I'm trying so hard. As I'm sweating, in the midst of this. And I remember saying to her, I was like, listen, if I have any hope of being able to get to where we want to be, like, I have to take baby steps. I have to, I hope to get to the place where I can validate you, but this is my baby step, is just not talking and just listening. And she was so gracious with me. And then like I could build on that, and then I could validate, but like basically basic level validation. Like,
Yeah.
I could understand why you're feeling that way. That makes sense. They like that was it.
Yeah.
But that just gave us reps. And I think when we were in close quarters, like we just couldn't run away from each other. We had to address that. And so we had to work through those awkward stages of learning how to grow in connection, learning how to grow in relational skills along the way. So she was really gracious, but then also we just had the space, because in the past I would have just avoided it at all costs. And we couldn't.
Yeah.
I think the other thing that was a part of that time frame is that we had a lot of free time. And we did not have that in our previous version of life.
Yeah.
And so where I think, Britton, you might have been more likely to fill your time with other things, that was no longer an option. And so we kind of had to face the thing that was right there in front of us, like you said, that we couldn't get away from.
Yeah, that's a great point.
That is a great point, actually. And I think that's really important, because we'll do that. We will do everything in our power to avoid the awkward situations, or we'll, bury our hand in the sand. We'll go work on this project. And as a pastor, there's always someone else or something else that you have to take care of or do. And
That's right.
You never, like you said, I think you said earlier too, that you never even slowed down long enough to know what's happening inside of you, let alone to be able to connect with Michelle in those spaces. And so time is key. And I also love the fact that, we say it this way: we just need more practice, and that's what you were doing. You're practicing, and you got the reps in, like you said, and you're just practicing. And
and I love that you guys like had a alignment around, we are going to get through somewhere. We can't even name it yet.
So important,
but there's something we dream for on the other side, and we're going to keep working to get that direction. And that was a big piece for us too in our growth stage of like, I don't even know if we're going to make it, like our marriage is going to make it.
Yeah.
But if we're going to make it, it's got to look different than what it's looked to this point.
Yep.
And we're both committed to figuring that out and doing our own part to do it. Like we weren't waiting for the other person to do their part. And one of us sat back and was like, yeah, this is all on you. Like we both leaned in fully to, okay, I have some growth to do here too. And I don't know how to do it, and you don't know how to do it, but like, let's keep trying until we can find our way.
Yeah.
And that was foundational for us. And it sounds like it was for you guys too.
Oh, for sure. For sure. And I think for us, it was noticing some of the small wins along the way.
Yes.
That we had where, to her point, we didn't even know if what we desired was attainable for us. We didn't know if we could ever get there.
Right.
Because it seems so distant, but it's like, well, anything's better than where we're at now. Right. But I remember even this little wins of like, hey, look, like we stuck in this conversation without like blowing up, or I can talk about my emotions and not have to go take a nap immediately right afterwards. Like, let's celebrate those things.
Yeah.
And so just like, wow, okay, God is really gracious, and God is really moving in our hearts, and God is transforming us. And like, let's celebrate those things. I think that helped us kind of stick with it, especially when things were frustrating and really hard.
Yeah. Yeah. It is about the small wins and paying attention to those. I remember those moments where we're like, we had our counselor once, we went to her because we were like, oh my goodness, we just had a whole blow up. And for 4 days, we didn't talk to each other. Our thing was like, no eye contact, no conversation.
If it was quiet in our house,
it was not a good
then
time.
That was not good.
Oh,
yeah. And we're just like, like all this work that we've been doing for the last year. And here we are, like, did any of it even matter? And she said, how long? And we're like, 4 days.
We were so
like,
mad.
well, when you started, it was 4 months. So I think that's pretty great. We were like,
4 months. We did that in 4 days. We did it in 4 days.
You know?
Yeah.
And then we would see that shrink and shrink and shrink to where we could work it through in real time.
Yeah.
And that was part of what we were like, okay, our goal would be to work this through in real time.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, those small wins along the way are actually huge wins. And it isn't like a destination. We're still growing and still learning better ways to care for one another and care for ourselves and connect. I don't think it ever ends.
Yeah. Well, I think what makes it so hard is, this depth of connection and this way of, growing in relational skills. It's way beyond just skills. It was just like, here are the skills and I'm going to do it. That's easy, but it's a different way of thinking. It really what dawned on me one day is like, oh my gosh, this is going to require a total rewiring of my brain, a rewiring of my heart, a rewiring of my perceptions and everything. And I just remember going like, God, I can learn some skills. I can practice some skills, but you're in the business of reordering my heart. So you best be doing that if this is going to change, because I'm in trouble. And praise God, he is doing that in us. But it just helped give me grace too. It's like, this isn't as simple as like just mastering a few skills by any means.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
And it's not fast.
Oh no. We're
so used to just looking for the quick fix, and this is not an area that's a quick fix. No. So it's staying in it for the long haul and seeing slow progress over time.
Yeah.
But slow progress that lasts.
You've been listening to the Table and Well podcast. New episodes stream every Tuesday. If you have enjoyed this podcast, please leave us a review to let us know. Also, subscribe on your favorite listening platform to stay up to date on all things Table and Well. To learn more, start your journey, or get information on how Table and Well can help develop your community, family, or teams to be relationally healthy and authentically connected, please go to tableandwell.org/collab to schedule an interest call, or you can email us directly at known@tableandwell.org.